Spirit stays in the body for months after death.
Bring Her Back is one of 2025's most devastating and psychologically haunting horror dramas. A slow burn descent into madness, grief, and the horrifying consequences of refusing to let go. Directed with eerie precision and echoing the emotional intensity of Talk to Me, the film explores what happens when the line between life and death becomes a doorway instead of a barrier. At the heart of this harrowing story is Laura, a mother broken by the death of her daughter Cathy, who turns to a dark ritual to bring her back. But it's Piper and Oliver, two foster children caught in Laura's web, who truly carry the emotional weight of the film's conclusion. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Let's break down the final act of Bring Her Back, what it means for Piper and Oliver, and how Laura's tragic story ultimately ends in one of the most sorrowful finales in recent horror cinema.
We can bring her back.
Piper's escape, the final push for survival. The climax of Bring Her Back revolves around Piper's desperate attempt to escape Laura before she can be used to resurrect Cathy. Up to this point, Piper's been slowly manipulated, her reality twisted by Laura's motherly affection and subtle gaslighting. Laura wants Piper to trust her, to see her as a new mom. But when Piper discovers Andy's corpse, hidden and discarded like a failed experiment, the illusion finally breaks. Everything comes crashing down at the pool, a recurring and symbolic location in the film. This is where Cathy died, where Laura lost everything. Now she plans to complete the ritual by repeating that death with Piper. The pool is no longer just a place, it's a grave and a gateway. Laura drags Piper into the water, intending to drown her, the final sacrifice required to reunite with her daughter. In the struggle, Piper does something desperate. She calls Laura Mom. It's not manipulation, it's survival. But the word lands like a bomb in Laura's psyche. For a fleeting moment, the real Laura, the grieving, broken mother, resurfaces. That single word is enough to shake her resolve. Piper seizes the moment, slipping from Laura's grasp and escaping to the roadside, where she's able to flag down a passing car. This marks the breaking point in the ritual and in Laura's carefully constructed reality. The last time we see Piper, she's sitting quietly as police swarm the scene. She sees a plane flying overhead, a callback to Andy's story about souls being carried to the afterlife. It's a quiet, haunting moment that suggests Piper, though deeply traumatized, has at least survived. The price was high. Andy's gone. Oliver's broken. But Piper escapes the film with her life, and perhaps a small piece of hope. Oliver's possession and liberation. Then there's Oliver, a child whose tragedy is more silent but no less horrifying. He's taken in by Laura under the pretense of adoption, but instead of a new life, he becomes a tool, an instrument in Laura's resurrection ritual. Oliver's condition becomes increasingly disturbing as the ritual progresses. His body becomes a vessel for Cathy's spirit, but he's also overwhelmed by something darker, a demonic force that eats away at his will. He stops speaking. He consumes dead flies. At one point, he chews on a knife. He's trapped in a nightmare, fully under Laura's control. The ultimate plan? Once Piper's drowned, just as Cathy was, Oliver, possessed and obedient, will eat parts of Cathy's preserved remains and spit them into Piper's mouth. It's grotesque, horrifying, and entirely in service of the soul transfer Laura believes will bring her daughter back. But when Piper escapes, the ritual is broken. The sequence is interrupted before it can be completed, and that disruption seems to shatter the demonic possession holding Oliver hostage. The boy finally snaps back into himself, the glassy-eyed stare giving way to confusion and tears. In the final scenes, he's found by the authorities. His identity is confirmed. He speaks his real name. There's something deeply moving about that moment. A child who had all but disappeared into a possession now reclaiming his identity. It's a small victory in a film filled with emotional devastation.
You are. So stay safe. Stay reliable.
Laura's downfall. The monster born of grief. Laura is one of the most complex horror villains in recent memory. She's a woman so devastated by the loss of her daughter that she convinces herself that ritual sacrifice is the only answer. What makes Laura terrifying isn't the cruelty of her actions, it's the sincerity behind them. She doesn't want to hurt Andy or Piper or Oliver. She thinks she has to. Throughout the film, Laura genuinely tries to bond with her foster children. She cooks for them, comforts them, tells stories. And on some level, her affection for Piper seems real, but grief has eaten away at Laura's ability to distinguish love from obsession. She's not bringing Piper in to be part of a family. She's bringing Piper in to be a body, a means to an end. The moment Laura kills Andy is especially brutal. She even acknowledges that what she's doing is horrific, but in her eyes, it's necessary. That justification is what pushes her over the edge from sympathetic to monstrous. The final scene of the film is unforgettably tragic. Laura, alone now, floats in the pool cradling her daughter's rotting corpse. There's no madness in her eyes, just defeat. The police are closing in, the ritual has failed, and Laura doesn't resist. She's waiting. She has nothing left to live for. Her goal, however twisted, has failed. And maybe that's the real horror of Bring Her Back. Laura isn't punished because she's evil. She's punished because she couldn't let go. Her grief turned her into a monster. But there are constant reminders that, under different circumstances, she might have been a good mother to Piper and Oliver. There's a tenderness to her that never quite disappears, even in her most monstrous moments. That duality makes her so compelling and so tragic. Andy's secret, the guilt that drove him. Andy's death is the emotional gut punch of the movie. From the beginning, Andy is fiercely protective of Piper. He's her older brother, her shield. But late in the film, Andy reveals the truth behind that loyalty. When they were younger, Piper was adored by their father. Andy, overcome with jealousy, struck her, an act that may have led to her current condition. Her severe nearsightedness isn't just a physical limitation. It's tied to guilt, shame, and unspoken trauma. Andy's confession reframes everything we've seen of him. His protectiveness, his patience, his unwillingness to leave her behind. It all comes from a place of guilt. Andy's arc becomes one of redemption. He spends the entire film trying to make up for that one mistake, to shield Piper from the very pain he once caused. And it's what makes his death at Laura's hands even more devastating. Just when he's finally come clean, just when the emotional weight is being lifted, he's taken away. It leaves Piper alone in the world, without her brother, her protector. But it also fuels her escape. In a way, Andy's final act of bravery, facing Laura, dying for Piper, gives her the strength to survive. The meaning behind the title, Bring Her Back, isn't just about Cathy. It's about the impossible longing for something lost. Laura wants her daughter back. Andy wants to bring back the innocence he took from Piper. Oliver wants his life back. And Piper. She just wants to hold on to the only family she's ever known. But the film makes it painfully clear. The dead cannot be brought back without consequences. The price is too high. The rituals don't work. The trauma doesn't fade. There's no cheat code for grief. In the end, Bring Her Back isn't about resurrection. It's about what happens when you refuse to accept death. It's about how grief can hollow you out, consume you, twist you into someone unrecognizable. It's about the monsters we become when we try to cheat the natural order.
You lock you in, Ollie?
Our nerdy thoughts, Bring Her Back, leaves us with a broken cast of survivors and a haunting question. What do we become when our love outlives the person we gave it to? It's a chilling, heartbreaking film, one that uses horror not just to scare, but to cut deep into the emotional wounds we try so hard to hide. It's a story of grief, guilt, and the terrible cost of trying to undo the past. Thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts on Bring Her Back in the comments, especially what you think happened to Piper and Oliver after the credits rolled. And if you enjoy deep dives like this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more breakdowns of the most thought-provoking films in horror.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.